Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I will talk a little bit about free will and my experience. You can say this is like a SP story. This is when I was 13 years old. So I went to a place frequently, and upon going there, I happened to see a guy that I thought was kind of cute, and his father was VIP. And he never noticed me because I would see him from where I was at. So he would come into the event and just walk straight to the back because that's where they had to go, through the side door. And all the time I would see him, and he never noticed me. But I, end up thinking he was kind of attractive. And I just start thinking about this guy in the morning before, when I was waking up, I would try to go back to sleep to think about him. Like before bed, I would try to dream about him, not even knowing that I was doing SATs, which is like a state akin to sleep, and not even knowing this, but it was me wanting to dream about him. And when I was waking up in the morning, it was like I wanted to go back to sleep and try to dream about him. That's when I was 13. I didn't know, but it was me coming from a place of I like him so much. I want to dream about him. I want to think about him. What happened was this guy went from never noticing me to started to come around. Like, it was like weird because he was VIP, so he couldn't be around other people. Now that's what it appeared to be, because I've never seen him outside of the area he was supposed to be in until I started doing these visualizations about this guy. All of a sudden he had more freedom to go wherever he wanted to go. So I started to notice that he started to notice me, right? Couldn't take his eyes off of me. This guy was like really drawn to me for some odd reason. And I would take it like, oh, okay, he think I'm cute. Obviously, he's like checking me out. He's looking at me. And this went on for a very long time, to the point where the boy, he couldn't even walk. Whenever he would see me, he would stop in his tracks. And like he wanted to talk to me, but I was really scared. I was really shy to talk to him. So I would just run to the bathroom. Yeah, I was like one of those girls who was just like freaking out. But I thought these were signs from God, because I was like, okay, obviously he's my husband, because these are the signs, In my head, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he's got to be my future husband, because this guy was mesmerized by me, only by me fantasizing about him. I've never talked to this guy. He never noticed me. He was in VIP where he couldn't even get out of VIP. But for some odd reason, his parents started to let him hang out all of a sudden, right? So at this event, I started to notice this one girl I thought was like really cute, curly hair. Anyways, I thought she was really cute, in my opinion. Went to the bathroom one day because he was like acting like he wanted to talk to me, and I was really scared. So I ran by him again, and I ran to the bathroom. And this was like around Christmas time, right? And I went to the bathroom, and I overheard another girl say something about the guy. I found out the guy's name. I found out his age. I found out a lot of things because people just start talking about him all of a sudden. Like, mind you, like never knew anything about him. All of a sudden, everybody knew him. Like, he started to get popular around the younger youth people like us. And so come to find out, this cute girl in the bathroom was his girlfriend. I heard somebody say something about the guy's name and her being the girlfriend, or say something, your boyfriend so-and-so is outside. It was something like that. And I was like, literally like, what the hell? He's dating in my opinion, the cutest girl that I've seen so far at the event. Like, what? But I was a little discouraged a little bit, because it was like she was cute. Anyway, so I kind of was a little discouraged a little bit, but I was like, you know what? No, I see the signs. This guy is like really feeling me. So she might be his girlfriend today, but I'll be his wife later. Like, that's how my opinion was. And this guy just didn't stop. Like, no matter what his girlfriend looked like, he was into me, because I had this belief that he was my man. So he started to respond accordingly. So this girl was performing at the event for Christmas. Like, it was Christmas and she was performing. And of course, since he's VIP, he had a VIP section in the front. And the whole time she's performing right in front of his face, he's looking back at me the entire time. Like, the entire time, his brother, he had a younger brother, his brother is like elbowing him, like, dude, like, chill, like, what are you doing? His dad looked back to see who he's looking at, like, and it was me, of course. Like, literally, the people who were like where I was sitting, like, he looked back and literally everyone's head was moved to the side so he could see me, like, through everyone's head. Like, he was just staring me down. It was kind of creepy sometimes. I don't know what was going on in his head. I never asked him, but I ended up giving him up because my brother, who at the time he's older than me, he's like 5 years older, and he was having problems with the law and stuff, and I was just praying that God would protect him and save him. So I was like, God, please, I'll give up my husband for him, just protect my brother. I was like, please, God, I just want my brother safe. Like, so within a few months, his parents, VIP's parents, broke up, got divorced, and he moved away, and I didn't see him until I turned 18. So it was like 4 years of not seeing him. My brother ended up going to church after that and now he's a preacher. So in my reality, whenever I would pray for something or do something, it would be everyone would move accordingly. Like, it was easy for me because I felt like, God really looked out for me. Whatever I asked for, I got it, no matter what it was. And I'm pretty sure that if you have that same belief in your reality, it's going to be the same. But it doesn't matter what religion you are at all, because you're still a creator. You're still creating your reality, and everyone is just responding to you. But I'm going to tell you about the story about my coworker. So I was at work. It was probably like 2014, 15. And I worked in the emergency room. There was this guy who worked in the ER with me, but he only worked every other weekend, and he was super cool, older guy. We had fun. We always laughed and had a good time and everything like that. And we ended up going through a time where they fired a few directors. So a lot of people had an opportunity to move up to different positions for higher pay. So I ended up moving my department. It was like $4 more than I was getting paid in the ER, which was pretty cool. And it was full time. So when everyone went through this transition, I didn't see him for a while. Maybe like a month or so later, I'm in my new position, and then I see the guy. He was like acting a little strange, and everyone's looking at me like he's our manager. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, this guy is our manager now? He just started to be a butthole, guys. Like, I'm talking about, he was Uranus around this bee. And everyone hated him. And I decided to like try Neville Goddard's method. At the time, that's when I first started getting into Neville Goddard here and there. And it was like, if you're having issues with someone, what you do is you go inside and start having an inner conversation with them that shows that things have improved between y'all. Since I used to have a good time with him, I used to pretend like everything was back to normal. Like, the things that everyone else start complaining about, I didn't even bother to engage in the conversations. I was just, minding my own business. Anyways, I remember one day he came into the office because he needed a break from his office because he felt like he was overwhelmed. And he sat down. So he was starting to have conversations with me. And then it went from that to like him staying after work to come in there and we will chat like we used to. We're just laughing and talking, and people were looking like, what's going on in this office? Like, what y'all doing? I didn't tell him anything. I didn't go to him and I didn't confront him. I didn't complain to him or anything. I just went inside and started seeing him differently. And he showed up that way. But people are just responding to your inner conversations about them. Even the first story of my VIP boy, like, he never noticed me. All of a sudden, everyone around him his parents made it so now he was able to come around me. He had the cutest girlfriend. He wasn't paying her no attention because it didn't matter. His girlfriend started at one point, I didn't say this, but his girlfriend started like staring me down too. I guess she kind of started to notice that he was into me. So like, I would catch her staring me down and I would just smile to myself. Now she looking at me like, how the hell this girl got my man's attention? But they don't have free will because they're responding to you. I do this with, just day-to-day things. Like I said in my other video, like when I say I'm the Beyonce of my reality, and then like people respond to me when I go out, the energy, people were drawn to me. They didn't have free will. They had no choice but to see me as the Beyonce of my reality, whatever that means. To me, it just means someone who's loved and supported and people want to be around. It's just the energy of Beyonce, of just like, no matter what Beyonce looks like, people are going to still think Beyonce looks good. she could just wake up in the morning and someone say yes, like, you know what I'm saying? So it comes from that place of always feeling good for myself, you know what I'm saying? And just testing it out, you know, you don't never know until you test it out. And that's the fun thing about it. When you have a desire and you believe it and you fantasize, even if you don't believe it, but you think about it a lot, it's going to start showing evidence in your reality. People are just responding to you. I had an assumption of my SP when I first met him, that he only likes certain type of girls, right? And I asked him and he was like, no. He described the type he liked, which was me. But I still didn't let go of that assumption of the type of girls he liked, right? And I should have. But if I would have known what I know now, I definitely would have. Down the line, when I started to get insecure and all those stuff, those type of girls that I assumed that he liked in the beginning started popping up everywhere. And those girls would come to me, be like, oh, he told me that he likes these type of girls and not, you know, your type. I'm not going to be specific on what it was, but I'm like in my head, like, I knew he did. I knew he did from the first day, but he told me clearly, no, you're my type. And I was just like, no. But then those other girls start coming around and they told me exactly my assumptions that I said to myself. Now I can look back and see how I created a lot of stuff in my relationship to start by just a thought, right? Because when you have a thought and you keep on putting energy to it, it's going to have to push out. Because in the beginning, I had no proof of that thought. It was just an assumption and he clearly killed it, right? If you have an assumption of someone that is not favorable for you and it's not the type of ideal relationship that you want to experience, and you need to change that, because they're going to only push it out, right? If you keep, no matter who you date, they're going to show up that way. If you don't change, it don't matter who the person is, they're going to show up the exact same way until you change your beliefs and assumptions. Like, it don't matter. You know, you're changing yourself too. It's not just them, but you're changing you. It's pretty cool when you really think about it, because it's like we're kind of all in our little simulation type of reality, right? Where it's like everything is responding to us. Just like, for instance, if you have a desire to drive a certain car, right? And as soon as you have that desire, someone will have to drive past you to show you what you created. You know, you have a lot of power, you have a lot of control in your reality, and start seeing it and start testing it out. You know, don't knock it until you test it out. Make the best of it. Start creating things you want to experience. Start thinking about things. That's why I related to Neville, because when I first read him, I was just like, oh my God, like, he is explaining me to a T. Like, I have a lot of stories about how things work out for me. It's not manipulation, because you're already thinking about them. Why can't it be a better expectation about them? So once you start to get the hang of it and start to see the power you possess, you'll start to, you know, move through life differently and have less fear and start to gain more power and control over everything, especially your thoughts, because your thoughts are everything. But your thoughts come from your core beliefs and your self-concept, which is also the most powerful. That is my video. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye-bye.